Is SocialBee the best social media management tool right now? I'm going to help you find out in this in-depth review. We're going to go over everything, how it works, key features and benefits, pricing plans, and overall pros and cons. I'm also going to compare it against Hootsuite, another extremely popular social media scheduling tool. I'm pumped for this video, so let's go. Welcome, my name is Kevin, and on this channel, I show you the best tools and strategies you can use to start and grow a business online. If you want to grow your business's sales or leads, then you have to be constantly posting on all the social channels where your audience is hanging out and looking for answers and solutions. But with so many platforms out there, it can be pretty tough and time consuming to find the time to do all of that, especially when you're doing everything manually. And coming up with unique content for each of your channels is no easy task either. Well, that's where SocialBee can help by automating a lot of that publishing work, and with its smart AI features, it does a ton of the heavy lifting when it comes to content creation for you. Later in this video, I'm also going to show you how you can get a free trial of SocialBee so you can check it out yourself, along with an exclusive discount you won't find anywhere else. So just keep watching, or you can check the links in the description down below if you don't want to wait. But let's jump in and I'll show you how it all works. So here we are in the SocialBee dashboard, and you can see that I've already connected a bunch of my accounts. And connecting your accounts couldn't be easier. All you're literally going to do is hit plus profile here, log in, and you're connected. That's how easy it is. So now that you've connected your profiles, you're ready to start posting. But you're gonna get a whole lot more success on social media if you have a content strategy so that you'll know the types of content you're going to post, when you're going to post them, and across which channels. But don't worry, SocialBee's got you covered here, and we're going to generate all of that using its handy AI assistant. This assistant's gonna help you create your own custom strategy, do your entire posting schedule, and even write some posts for you in just a few minutes. So to use the AI Copilot feature, just click on Social Media Copilot right here. And then it's actually going to ask you a number of questions very conversationally. For the sake of time, I've already filled this in, but it's going to say, hey, who are you creating this for? It's a company. Okay, what's your company name? What is your business website? What is your role? So on and so forth. And so you can see I've answered these questions. If you can provide more and more information about who your audience is, the type of products you sell, the pricing, everything, then it's going to do an even better job. But I've kept it simple here, and I've answered these questions pretty simply. And now all we have to do is hit generate. And then the next thing it does is, based on what you told it, it's going to suggest the best social media channels for you based on your audience. So I personally do a lot of software tutorials and reviews, long form content. As you know, you're watching my YouTube video, and unsurprisingly, it's suggested YouTube as my top channel. Then it's also suggested Instagram Business, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and it's also de-emphasized other things like TikTok, less focused due to audience demographics. So it's only recommended I post 1 time a week on that, whereas 5 times a week or 6 times a week on these other channels. So next, you're going to go to generate categories. And so these categories are basically your content buckets, kind of your post types to keep you organized. And this is what SocialBee is going to use in order to keep you consistent. So it's gone ahead, understood what it is that you do, and suggested a bunch of different content types. So for me, it's telling me to curate content, maybe a day in the life, like a behind the scenes. I can do a Q&A, I can do tips, lessons, and motivations, tool tutorials, tool reviews, and this sounds pretty good to me. Then you just go to generate posting plan, and boom, it's done my calendar for me, and it's told me which days to post on which platforms I'm going to post on. Any of these screens, you can modify it if you want, but let's keep it simple and I won't touch a thing. And then what you can do is just go generate posts, and SocialBee will actually start writing posts for you instantly. And boom, there you see you have 25 posts written for you for each of your categories. Then all you're going to do is go select all. You could also generate more if you want, but I think 25 is plenty to start with. And then you're going to go to use selected posts. And now what this is going to do is actually add all your posts to your calendar and categories. And after it's done generating everything, we can head over to our schedule setup, and just like that, we can see that it's scheduled everything in our calendar. And when you click on next post, you can see what's coming up per platform and when. So if we want to see what's coming up on TikTok, we can see that on the 11th, this is what's coming out, and it's going across all these channels. And just like that, SocialBee has done days of planning and scheduling work for you. And if you remember, the AI Copilot made these categories for us, and I want to dive into this categories feature because this is really the lifeblood of SocialBee, and it's what lets you run your social media on autopilot. So again, these categories are the types of content that you're going to post. And so the way it works is that these are kind of like buckets that you can fill with content. And so what SocialBee does is it pulls content from this bucket and posts it automatically per your schedule. So you can see curated here. If we go to our calendar, we can see that curated goes out on these platforms every single Tuesday. So what it does is it just pulls the next post every Tuesday. You never have to schedule this again, and it'll just post every Tuesday the next one in the row. And so if we go back to it, we can see that we have all of these posts, and the ones that the AI wrote for us automatically, they've just been set as draft. So you can just go in here. It's already done some hashtags for you. It's kind of putting some ideas together here. And of course you want to go here and edit it to make sure that it's relevant to your business, but it's a really cool feature that it just started writing for you. And so you can see that there's multiple posts for every single category. And this is how you're going to automate your social media. So all you have to do is spend like an hour or two a month creating like 10-15 posts, fill your buckets with those posts, and you're done. Because then SocialBee is going to take each of these posts and automatically post it all for you per your schedule, and you never need to worry about logging into each of these platforms. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, Kevin, it's going to take me way longer than an hour to write and schedule 10 posts. But don't worry, SocialBee's got you covered here too. So all you have to do is go add post, and now we are going to use all of SocialBee's handy content creation tools to do this really, really easily. So the first thing you want to do is choose the platforms you want it to go out on. Let's say we want to do, in this case, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay, so now we're ready to create our content. Well, SocialBee has built-in AI that's going to make this super easy. Let me show you. So just hit this AI button, go to generate captions, and now here we are in the AI assistant, and it's got thousands of ways it can help you and thousands of prompt templates. And so it's organized by platform. So if you know the specific platform, if you have like a goal that you want, like to rewrite or an objective or summarize something, if you have a reason for it, like a special thing like a holiday, or by your business type, like small business or business coaches, lifestyle coaches. So whatever it is, it's going to help you. Let's say you're an entrepreneur and you're like, create a post about the struggles of being an entrepreneur. And let's say you're an online entrepreneur. Let's say you help your business coach who helps online entrepreneurs like me. So create a post about the struggles of being an online entrepreneur. And let's say you want this to be motivating, and you want to generate hashtags, you want to use emojis, and you want 3 versions of this post. You hit generate, and in seconds you have 3 posts. And what you do then is you select all 3 and you hit use selected results. Why did we select all 3? Well, I'll tell you why. Because now SocialBee is going to make 3 versions of this exact same post so that it can use that post again and again 3 times. And it does that with a feature called requeuing. So this way you're gonna get 3 times the exposure for the same idea without creating any new content. So you're getting 3 times the amount of content for that one effort. And so you can see, you can read the post, it's put in all 3, and then you can take that post and copy it across all of your channels. So you can see, we're just going to grab it and throw it into our Facebook. We can grab it into our Twitter. And you can see here what's cool is you can customize it if you want for each platform. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to put the exact same thing in all 3. But if you really wanted to, you could change it up for each of your platforms independently, because things do have their own nuances. So for example, on Facebook, you could choose where you're putting this, same with Instagram, and so on and so forth. There might be separate hashtags you want to use for each of them. them. And that's just ways that you can kind of do things a lot quicker. Now you'll see that there's this error message here, and that's because Instagram requires images. So how are we going to get our image? Well, I'm going to show you actually 3 ways to do that to get a visual. Once again, you can just use SocialBee's built-in AI. Just go to AI, generate images, and not only is it going to generate the image, it's going to read your post that it wrote for you. Then it's going to write the description for what the image should be about, and then it's going to generate that for you. We have 3 posts, so maybe we want to use 3 images, and you just hit generate, and you can read it here and you can edit it if you want, but just hit generate, and in a few seconds you are going to have 3 custom images that are royalty free, that are specific to you. And so you can see it's thrown in some images here, and you can customize it however you want. You can be as specific as you want. You can just go select all 3, use selected results, and then it's going to show you also a preview of it on the right hand side here. And that's how easy it was to get an image. But what if you wanted to use on your second post not a custom image? What if you wanted to do something else? Well, it also has an integration with Canva. And so if you want, you can literally go into Canva, pull in a design, add it to SocialBee. You can edit it right within Canva right here and just add it into SocialBee, and you're good to go. Another thing you can do, let's say you want it for your third one, is you can either use Unsplash and just pull in a royalty-free image. Say you just want an entrepreneur. Let's just pick anything here. This girl right here, and boom, it's just being pulled into your post. Or if you want to do something fun, you could use a GIF, and you can do something like whatever. I'll just pick anything here, right? So that's how easy it is. You can use Giphy, Canva, Unsplash, or use the AI. So it's writing the content for you. It's making you super easy to get the images you need for it, and you're good to go. And then when you're done, you can save your post and it will be added to that same queue I showed you. Let's do one more example, and this time let's do vertical video. And this time we want to post to TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook Reels. And so let's go grab a quick video. Let's just grab this one. And if you want to post, say, a different one to Facebook, you can do that. And let's say you want, and another one to YouTube. You could, of course, post the same thing, which would be a lot less content to create. But if you wanted to do that, you just simply do that. Now, you can set your privacy option. You want it to be public on TikTok. So you want it to go to your reel on Facebook. And this is going to go public on YouTube. And so if you just want help here, you could go to generate captions, and you already know what your video is about. Say, write me an engaging caption for my video talking about 3 tips to make more money online. Something like that, right? Like I'm just going quickly here, and let's say you want it to kind of be a little bit witty, and you want the hashtags, and you want some emojis, and let's just say you just want 1 post. In this case, keep it simple. Done, right? Hey, here you go. It's just done it for you, thrown that in there, and that's how easy it is. You can see that preview for that content. Let me put it in here, right there, and you are good to go. Just put it, make money online. And so you can just see all of those previews right there. And there's a lot of specific features, like with TikTok, you could say, do you want to allow duets or stitching or comments? And so a lot of customization, but basically for short form video, it works the exact same as the text post. So you're doing both here, and it really is that easy. You can requeue it once again, and you can hit save post. So we've just covered how SocialBee makes creating all your content and posting it across all your channels consistently super easy. But social media is called social for a reason. So what about engaging with your audience? So SocialBee actually has a built-in tool that helps you centralize this. Now, one limitation is currently it only works for YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, but basically you'll be able to see all your mentions and comments on these platforms, and you'll be able to respond right within your SocialBee account without logging into each of these platforms. Now, they're adding support for more platforms. You can see at the time of this video, they're going to add Pinterest next. So it's not for every platform, which is kind of a bummer, but it is for a few of them. And so if you are heavy on one of these platforms, that can be helpful as well. The next feature I want to cover is the Workspaces tool. And this is a really powerful tool that lets you invite other people to work with you in SocialBee or manage multiple businesses. And so that's the first use case for the Workspaces. If you have multiple businesses you run or brands, then you can create multiple workspaces within the same SocialBee instance so that you can manage all your different social platforms separately without getting confused. And you'll have different schedules for them, different strategies for them, and everything you just saw, you can make multiple versions of for each of your businesses or brands. Now, the other way to use Workspaces is if you have a team, or maybe you have a personal assistant or something who helps you with your social media, well, then you can actually add users and you can give them different permissions. So you can see here, managers can do this, publishers can do this, and you can even have it such that nothing can go out without your approval. So this is a really important feature if you want to keep close control of everything, but at the same time, you don't want to have to do everything yourself and you want to get some assistance with creating all this stuff. And if you run an agency, both of these features are really powerful working together because you can add multiple businesses and you can mark your users as clients so that you can keep track of who's a client and who's on your team in your agency. Now, there are some considerations with the number of users you can add and the number of social profiles, and we'll go over all of that in the plans section. The next thing I want to show you quickly is the analytics functionality. So within SocialBee, you're going to be able to get analytics for each of your profiles, and it's going to have a different view for each of them. So you can see here on TikTok, get some insights. We can see our distribution during the day. We can see what our top performing videos are, and so on and so forth. You can really dive in and see how things are improving for you. Pick another one, YouTube, my primary channel, and you can see right here your subscribers growth and your insights. And so you can click around and get a lot of insights into each of your channels, and you can see your top performing posts by Instagram once again, and really how many comments you get, average likes, really cool stuff. I encourage you to check this out. And of course, this is really good information to understand how all the work you're doing is really impacting your growth. Now, I want to cover a few advanced things really quick for my more seasoned technical marketers. So there are a lot of integrations you can do with SocialBee, so you can add any kind of link shortener you want. And so this is really good if you want to use link shorteners and track your links with an external tool. So you can see that list right there. There's Zapier if you want to do some CSV imports and a lot more sort of automations there. Again, won't go into all of this here, but know that there are a lot of integrations you can do to extend how you use SocialBee. Also, SocialBee has a really cool Chrome extension. And so using this, you can really easily add content you find on the internet and share it in SocialBee without having to log into SocialBee. So if you're just out and about and you're like, oh, I like this article, let me share it to my followers, boom, you can do that. And you can see right here, it's really slick, really cool. Another really handy advanced feature is RSS feed integration. So basically, if you run a blog, you can get your RSS feed URL, and what it's going to do is it's going to pull all of your posts as you post them to your blog and automatically make posts out of them. And you can see a preview here, and you can import that into your SocialBee. Again, this stuff's a lot more advanced, but I want to just show the people who it matters to. If you run a blog, this is really going to save you a ton of time and make sure that all your posts are posted on social. And another cool thing is hashtag collections. So if you have very specific hashtags you've researched and you want to use them over and over, you can use your hashtag collections here and easily pull them into your posts. Within categories, if you're big into analytics and tracking and attribution, you can go to URL settings and do all kinds of UTM tagging if you want to know the source and the medium and everything, and have this auto apply to each of your categories. Again, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, don't worry, this stuff is a little bit more advanced, but for the people it matters to, you know you have it here. Okay, so I've just covered all the awesome things you can do with SocialBee and how it's going to make publishing and creating your content so much easier. But what are some of the drawbacks or considerations or cons you need to keep in mind with SocialBee? So the first is you have to have the right expectations and understand some of the technical limitations. So what I mean by that is you have to understand that SocialBee cannot do everything you can do in the native platform. In fact, there's no scheduling tool that can do that. And what I mean is there are some features that you need to do natively on the platform that are just not available in SocialBee. A great example would be, say, TikTok. There are no stickers, or you can't add music, or you can't cut or edit your videos. And so all of those features are of course not in SocialBee, and you really can't expect it to be, because how could they create parity with 7 or 8 platforms and those platforms are only working on their own products? So there are going to be limitations there. It's going to give you the fundamental features, but those really platform specific nuanced features, sometimes they could be missing. And what those features are and how impactful they are will depend on which platform you're on. Now, SocialBee does have a sort of workaround here, and it is a bit of a pro and a con. So SocialBee has a companion app. It's free and you can get it from your phone's app store. And what this app does is it takes everything you write and puts it into this app for you to then manually complete posting. So you can see here, it sent the video, it sent the content, it sent the hashtags and everything. And all you're going to do is click on it. It's going to tell you to log into Instagram. You hit that one button, it's going to automatically paste it. And then you can edit the post right there. If you want to change the video, you can add some audio, you can play around with it, and you can finalize your post in the native platform rather than letting SocialBee post directly. So that is an option. It's kind of a hybrid in between to try and get the best of both worlds, because you're still getting a lot of the automation, but you do need to be there to finalize the post. But sometimes this is actually a requirement, and SocialBee will show you a little phone icon if you try to create content that SocialBee will not let you post. And the usual example is if you try and upload a video that's not the right aspect ratio, it's too long, it's going to say, yeah, cool, you can send this using the companion app, because you're going to have to cut it inside the native app. So SocialBee doesn't just tell you, hey, too bad, you can't do this. It's like, hey, don't worry, we're going to still set this up for you. You just have to make sure it fits within the constraints when posting it. So it's a bit of a pro and a con, but it is an option there. Now, I covered this already a bit, but there is a limitation with the Engage platform. So you can't respond to, say, TikTok at this time. X was working and they changed the API there. I'm talking about Twitter, X did, and now that's fallen off SocialBee. They're fixing it at the time of this recording. So it really is a little bit more hit and miss, that Engage feature. So in that way, it works for some platforms, but it doesn't work for the same breadth of support for posting. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, there's one other thing I want to mention for Twitter. There's actually 2 ways to add a Twitter profile, and this is due to the way that Twitter has made changes to its API, basically its integration process. And so one way to post is just with the companion app, and all your tweets will be sent to this app, and then you have to finish posting. But if you want to post directly to Twitter using SocialBee, then you just have to do this 5-minute setup thing. Honestly, it's super easy. You just have to paste in all of these keys, and it literally takes you 5 minutes to get these keys. You just follow these instructions. It seems a little bit daunting, but honestly, it literally takes 5 minutes. If you can copy and paste, you can do it. But there is that one extra step to connect Twitter. Not a big deal, but worth mentioning. And one final con or consideration you should have is that the truth is social media platforms are always changing. They're always adding new features. They're always changing the algorithm. They're always changing the rules. And so these scheduling tools, SocialBee included, are always adapting to those changes in those platforms. So sometimes things do break, sometimes things do glitch, and that's just the nature of the cat and mouse kind of element of this game. And so as SocialBee reacts to that latest update and fixes things to make it still work. So I don't see it very often, but you should be aware that there is a possibility that sometimes one platform might fall off and you might have to do something manually in that platform. But this is the standard for every single one of these tools. It's not really a big deal, because even if it worked 95% of the time, that's still a tremendous tremendous amount of time savings for you. Okay, so now let's talk about SocialBee's pricing plans and take a look at the value here and some of the differences in the features. And right off the bat, there is actually a standard and an agency tab. I'll come to the agency tab last, but you can see that there are 3 plans, and I'll put it on monthly here. And so you can see the bootstrap plan is $29 a month. You get 5 profiles, 1 user, and the analytics are sort of limited to 3 months. You can see the accelerate, you get more profiles and you get 2 years of data. And there are some other nuanced differences here. You can see you get more categories, you get more posts, you get more RSS feeds, but essentially they're not really locking a ton of features away behind these paywalls. You can still connect all the platforms for all of them, and it's just your usage limits. So as you grow, you just upgrade your plan. And then we have the pro account. It's $99 a month. And if you have a lot of social profiles here, then you can use this plan. And that makes sense because you might have multiple businesses. So this is the plan if you want to have more than one business, or you have a team you work with. And those are really the big features. And again, you can see there's greater limits, but that's really the main thing you get there. Now, the monthly plan is $99, $49, and $29, and you actually get a 16% discount if you sign up for a year. But I promise you an exclusive offer, right? Well, I can actually give you 20% off the monthly plan, which is more than the actual 16% discount. This means that you get the flexibility of being able to cancel whenever you want at a cheaper cost than locking in for a year. And I'll show you in a moment how to claim that. But firstly, you're going to want to grab a 14-day free trial right here. So just click the link in the description and you'll be taken to this page or the sign up page, and you just click start your free trial. Then all you have to do is go sign up here, enter your email address, your password, hit create account, and you're in. There's no credit card required, so there's no risk for you to kind of forget to cancel it if you're not into it. You can just try it risk-free completely. So regardless of what you do, make sure you grab that 14-day free trial. Click the link in the description and you'll be set up with that. Then if you start using SocialBee and really love it, then here's how you're going to get your 20% discount. So just click on your profile picture after logging in, go to license, and simply pick a plan. Let's say you want the accelerate plan here. Then go to select plan and then click on enter promotional code, paste the code KevinF20X12. I'll link that down in the description as well. Hit apply, give it a second, and now you have 20% off for the next 12 months. Then just fill in your information and you are set. Now, I really think SocialBee is great value for the money, but I'm sure you're also thinking about some other social media scheduling tools. And so I wanted to do a quick comparison with probably the most popular social media scheduling tool, Hootsuite. This is like the OG tool. I actually remember using Hootsuite. I'm gonna date myself here, 12 or 13 years ago, and it was pretty awesome back then. And honestly, it's a great tool, but there are some pros and cons versus SocialBee, and let's get into that right now. So here we are in the Hootsuite backend, and firstly, there's going to be about 70% of the stuff that it does is about the same as SocialBee. So it has a calendar just like SocialBee, it has analytics, you can create your posts across multiple platforms for basically all the same networks. It actually has AI as well, so it can kind of create posts for you and generate captions and hashtags for you. So those are really some of the features that I would say are comparable across both of them. But there really is a big difference between SocialBee and Hootsuite, and it's in the vein of what each platform prioritizes. So what Hootsuite does really well is the streams and inbox feature, which are the engagement features. So Hootsuite has a fantastic engagement feature here, and you can engage across all your apps. So it's the same as SocialBee's feature, except it has support for more platforms, and it has a social listening functionality where you can actually listen for certain phrases and keywords. So you can see here, I'm listening for these hashtags. And so it's just a lot better in terms of being able to engage with your users in one place. And it has an inbox here, and so you can respond from here as well as the streams. And so it's really good at engaging. The other thing it does well is you can actually boost your posts natively. So it has an ads integration. So rather than going into those ad platforms and boosting a post, you can actually boost your posts right within Hootsuite, which is a cool feature. And I would say that the UI, I kind of like the user interface. It's really slick and it's a little bit more cleaner than SocialBee's. It's not a big deal, but I have to give them props. It just looks a little nicer. So that's what I would say that Hootsuite has on SocialBee. But what SocialBee has on Hootsuite is, with Hootsuite, you still have to manually post everything. So you have to manually schedule everything. It doesn't create a strategy for you. You have to come up with your own strategy. So you're still kind of sitting there and having to create all this content and post it manually. Now you can set everything up and it'll post it then, but it doesn't do that strategy. It doesn't have that categories feature where all you have to do is add content to the categories and then it figures out the time to post and it'll all do it for you. So where SocialBee shines there is with its AI strategy and automation platform features. So in a nutshell, what SocialBee has on it there is sort of that automation feature. Then the next thing is, if you actually look at its post editor, it only lets you use Canva, but SocialBee has AI image generation, Unsplash, and Giphy. And Hootsuite also doesn't have that requeuing or evergreen feature that recycles your posts and lets you have multiple variations. What I'm saying in essence is SocialBee is better for content creation and publishing and automation. Hootsuite is better for the engagement feature. You can do both with both, but their strengths are sort of opposite ends of the coin. Now, there is one other huge implication to talk about between the two, and that is when it comes to pricing. So frankly, SocialBee is a lot more cost effective than Hootsuite. So looking at Hootsuite, you can see that it's $99 a month, and that is with an annual plan. And so after your trial, you get $99 a month, and that gives you 1 user and 10 social accounts. If you skip your trial, you can get 20% off, and then that's going to make it, I guess, $80 a month, but then you got to skip your trial. Now, comparing that with SocialBee, to get the same 1 account and 10 users, it's actually $40 a month if you use the annual plan. Remember, if you actually use my 20% code, it's going to be less than $40. What is that going to be? $38 or something like that. And so you can see there that you're going to get a 14-day trial and you're going to pay less than half. And now, if you actually need more social accounts or you want to have a team and you want to have a few users, that's actually $249 a month. And comparing that with SocialBee, you're going to get it for $82 a month with the standard discount or $79.20 with my discount. So that is literally less than half the cost, $250 versus $80. And SocialBee here is actually giving you 25 profiles, and with Hootsuite, you're only getting 20. So this alone is probably the biggest difference. If you can afford Hootsuite, it's a fantastic product. And again, it's different. There are some pros and cons to it, but I just think SocialBee is a better platform for price versus value. And then you can start to see here how if you are running an agency and you have multiple accounts, this is just going to balloon because it won't even show you the price. And with SocialBee, it's a lot more transparent. You can see, hey, what you're gonna pay if you have 50 social profiles right there. And you can see that 50 profiles is less than what Hootsuite is charging you for 20 profiles. And here you're getting 5 users and Hootsuite's only giving you 3 users. So this is going to be several $100s to get comparable functionality. So it's really important to think about this too as you think about how your business is going to scale. So hopefully hopefully I've helped you determine if SocialBee is the right scheduling tool for you. Again, click the link in the description to get that 14-day trial. And if you want to continue using SocialBee after your trial, definitely use the coupon code below to get 20% off every month for 12 months. And I want to give you one more free bonus to help you plan your social media content and actually get a head start with SocialBee. So click the link in the description down below and you can get access to my free social media content calendar here. If you want kind of organize things on a more paper way and that's the way your mind works, well, you can get access to this and you're going to get everything you see here to plan your posts. You're going to get post examples that you can copy and paste, and you're also going to get my Canva templates that can be used directly within SocialBee. So you're going to get over 101 easily editable Canva templates you can see here for pretty much every industry. And as I showed you, you can actually edit these directly within SocialBee and post them. And so this is really going to speed up your content creation. So again, links for this is down below. So grab that. It's my gift to you. And if you have any questions about SocialBee, drop me a comment down below. I make it a point to personally respond to every comment I receive. And this video took a ton of time and research, so I would really appreciate a like to help get the video out to more people. And consider subscribing to the channel if you want more great tool tutorials and tips. And if there's any other tool that you'd like me to review or do a tutorial for, drop that in the comment down below too. Once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the channel. Take care.